I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
Why are we allowing these millions of people to come through on the southern border? How come she's not doing anything? And I'll tell you what I would do, and I would be very proud to do it. I would say we would both leave this debate right now. I'd like to see her go down to Washington, D.C. during this debate, because we're wasting a lot of time. Go down to, because she's been so bad, it's so ridiculous. Go down to Washington, D.C. and let her sign a bill to close up the border, because they have the right to do it. They don't need bills. They have the right to do it. The President of the United States, you'll get him out of bed, you'll wake him up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you'll say, come on down to the office, let's sign a bill. If he signs a bill that the border is closed, all he has to do is say it to the Border Patrol, who are phenomenal. If they do that, the border is closed.
Mr.
Those
President,
people are killing many people, unlike J6.
We bring you more breaking news this hour. A U.S. official telling Fox News that the Pentagon will be sending 1,500 U.S. active duty troops to the southern border by the end of the month. Now, this will accompany the 2,500 troops already at the border. They were put there in March of 2024 by none other than the Biden administration.
Flashback. Why are we allowing these millions of people to come through on the southern border? How come she's not doing anything? And I'll tell you what I would do, and I would be very proud to do it. I would say we would both leave this debate right now. I'd like to see her go down to Washington, D.C. during this debate, because we're wasting a lot of time. Go down to, because she's been so bad, it's so ridiculous. Go down to Washington, D.C. and let her sign a bill to close up the border, because they have the right to do it. They don't need bills. They have the right to do it. The President of the United States, you'll get him out of bed, you'll wake him up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you'll say, come on down to the office, let's sign a bill. If he signs a bill that the border is closed, all he has to do is say it to the Border Patrol, who are phenomenal. If they do that, the border is closed.
Mr.
Those
President,
people are killing many people, unlike J6.
So this is adding to what is there. I'm sure this will be spun by the media as some sort of novel and extra constitutional act by current President Trump. But indeed, he is simply adding, Ben, to the troops that are already there from the Biden administration. And this comes with the context of that executive order with Northcom, reorienting them to secure the southern border.
It's different. Look, I live in Texas, and I can tell you Border Patrol agents that I know well said for the last 4 years they have been directed by the Biden administration to not do their job. They said, imagine going to work every day and you're told you cannot do the job that you swore an oath to do. They are thrilled because they now said, not only do we actually get to go back and do the job we're supposed to do, instead of babysitting and allow for illegal activity to flourish, but we're going to get the resources we need to get it back in order because it's so out of control and there's no order. One of them said to me the other day, they said, you can't imagine just how bad it is at the southern border, because what they've done deliberately in the last administration was make it total chaos on purpose, so that there's no way to even have order. They said we need more people down there. They're going to need troops, National Guard, and a lot of help just to get it back to where it was when Trump left office. And I think that's a step in the right direction. I think you're going to see also governors jump all in to help with resources as well.
You know, Cheryl, one of the interesting things I find about a lot of these EOs as I read through them, I know you mentioned you were reading through one. I know Stephen Miller is behind a lot of these. Stephen Miller, people may not know, but for the last 4 years has run a legal advocacy organization. He understands the law. And when you look at this, they specifically cite in the EO that was signed a national emergency at the border that unleashes all sorts of powers. Designating the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, FTOs, unleashes all sorts of powers. And ironically, citing the Title 10 authorities used by Biden as they make this move. It is so well thought out.
It is, and those legal protections are in place. They also are put in legal protections as far as the sanctuary city goes. That's where we're seeing the fight back now is coming from the sanctuary cities, whether it's New York or it's Denver or, you know, even like Boston, we're going to see some things. But I think at the end of the day, what I found so interesting about the way that this was all phrased is actually it enables, to your point, the military to come in. That has to go through the Pentagon, but that's in place. That's why you need the defense secretary nomination to be confirmed sooner rather than later, because that all has to get processed through the Defense Department. I realize there's an acting defense secretary right now, but we need clarity with that. back to what's happening here in New York, how soon did you see crying immigrants when the CBP1 app was shut down? How fast did that video get out there? Well, more of that's coming from places. That is coming from the other side.
Yeah.
They're also
It's a campaign.
building their legal challenges and campaigning to make sure that this becomes the emotional, look at what Trump is doing.
This is the AOC
He and Homan
kids
are
in
going
cages
after,
moment
And
where
Harris,
that's crying.
we did see 22 states are now suing over the birthright citizenship.
Yeah, just to finish up on what you're just saying. Yeah, some of it is political, but some of it is also they were sold a bill of goods on the other side of the border because there's a magnet up here that says if you can come across that border any old kind of way, even if you have to be, and forgive it, but it's true, put yourself in danger to be raped by the drug cartels, you go for it and you get on that. And then there's this promise, this magnet, that this current administration, meaning Biden's at the time, won't do anything but help you. They'll give you debit cards in New York. They'll do everything that you might even get to vote it if you came here as a non-citizen illegally. I mean, the world is your oyster.
They're wasting no time. And ICE is making nearly 500 arrests in the span of just 33 hours. The New York Post cover, the Iceman cometh. President Trump also signing more executive orders, including one designed to block illegal crossings. And he told Sean Hannity that Joe Biden's failed policies forced him to take swift action.
Why would somebody say that open borders are good, where jails and mental institutions from other countries and gang members right off the streets of the toughest cities in the world are being brought to the United States of America and emptied out into our country? Why would anybody that even likes, you don't have to love our country, you have to like it. Why would anybody that likes our country, the Democrats, allow that to happen? And even now, I watch them on television, they're trying to justify it. You can't justify it.
So those ICE raids taking place in many parts of the country, including the sanctuary city of Boston. That's where Bill Maloogian went on an exclusive right along with ICE, and Bill joins us now to tell us what he found and what he saw. Bill, good morning.
Bill, good morning to you as well. In the early days of this new Trump administration, ICE officials tell me they're taking what they call a worst first approach, meaning they're going to target the worst of the worst criminal alien offenders first. Well, we were given exclusive access to join the elite ICE team right here in Boston as they go into sanctuary jurisdictions and enforce immigration law.
Good morning, everyone.
It's a frigid 5 degrees in the pre-dawn hours just outside of Boston, where this team of elite ICE officers is briefing on their targets for the day.
We're going to be targeting some extremely violent offenders today.
Within moments, the officers are on the move, with eyes on their first target.
Looks like we got movement, target vehicle coming out.
They quickly take him into custody. He's an MS-13 gang member wanted in El Salvador for aggravated murder. And he has an Interpol red notice out for his arrest.
We are targeting very violent threats to our community.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
ICE Boston quickly takes down its next targets, including this illegal alien from Brazil who has an Interpol red notice for armed robbery. This Salvadoran illegal alien charged locally with rape and released by a sanctuary jurisdiction.
Señor, ¿cómo se llama?
And this Dominican illegal alien charged with assault with a deadly weapon and heroin trafficking. Officers also arrested this Guatemalan MS-13 gang member facing gun charges. ICE says he was released from local custody just the day before. Their detainer request was ignored because of sanctuary policies. And in a sign of shifting priorities with the new Trump administration, this man, who was in the same apartment as the target, was also arrested after ICE determined he's also in the U.S. illegally. This is what ICE calls collateral.
So you guys got your main target just now, but you got somebody else. What just happened?
So our main target was released by a sanctuary jurisdiction, not honoring a detainer. That person was released back into the community, and when we went to go find him, he's with somebody else who was previously removed from the United States. So he's going to go today too.
And that is exactly what Border Czar Tom Homan has warned would happen.
When we find the bad guy, he's probably with others that are in the United States illegally. They may not be a criminal priority, but we're not walking away from them.
ICE Boston says they will continue to go into sanctuary jurisdictions and do their job.
Today was a good day. Today we took several significant public safety threats out of our communities. Unfortunately, a lot were released by sanctuary policies, but we're here to tell the Commonwealth and the rest of the country that we're going to find them whether they're released or not.
And guys, shortly after we finished filming, ICE Boston told us they arrested 2 more targets in other parts of town away from our cameras. One of those targets is a previously deported Honduran illegal alien who was arrested for raping a woman while putting a gun in her mouth. The other target they got is a Haitian man who first flew into the United States in 2023 as part of President Biden's controversial migrant flights mass parole program. Well, they just picked him up yesterday because he's been arrested locally for sexual assault. We'll send it back to you.
Bill Maloogian, it was fascinating to watch all of that. I think I was just saying to Bill, this is terrible for Joe Biden and the legacy that he tried to leave behind. A question from me, how soon will they actually be leaving the country? Does that take a long time?
It depends what country they're from. If they're from cooperable countries like El Salvador, Guatemala, countries like that, it can be quick. It can be within days or weeks. If it's countries that are harder to deport, countries that don't cooperate with the U.S. as much, it can go into a process of months. But the Trump administration is changing policies with something called expedited removal. The bottom line is people at home don't need to understand all the policies. The Trump administration is just going to work as fast as they can to get all the people you just saw on camera there out of the country as fast as possible. They're also going to use their State Department, now led by Marco Rubio, to put pressure on countries that don't cooperate with the U.S. as much when it comes to those deportations.
Bill, just two points of clarification here. It seems a lot of these crimes are associated with sex crimes. I'm just looking at the list a bit earlier today. I don't know if that generally is the case or not. And second, if Boston's a sanctuary city, how are they allowed to do this? Because we told there would be resistance.
Boston doesn't have to cooperate with ICE, but there's nothing they can do to stop ICE from coming into their city and enforcing the law. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. And that's the point ICE makes to us is, look, they don't have to cooperate with our detainer requests. They don't have to tell our officers when they're releasing somebody from jail. But we're going to do our job. We have our intel guys out in the field. We have people with eyes all over the place, and we're going to snatch those guys. So they can make ICE's job more difficult, longer, and more dangerous, but it's not going to stop ICE from doing the job, guys. The bottom line is, ICE says it's safer for everybody involved if locals would just hand these guys over in jail once they're arrested, but they don't. They let them out onto the streets. They don't tell ICE about it, so ICE has to spend a lot of resources gathering intel, finding these guys, and then going out into the community to do arrests, which could be dangerous. You saw that combative Haitian man, and then you saw, in the case of that one MS-13 member, his friend got snagged. They weren't even looking for him. They were looking for the MS-13 guy. They picked him up because a sanctuary jurisdiction released the MS-13 guy. ICE found him and then found the guy who was in the apartment with. They found out he was an illegal alien as well. So now he's going to be deported too.
Wow.
It's amazing. Bill Maloogian, thank you so much. More to come on that.
You know, Tom Homan cited that they might go after local jurisdictions who refuse to comply with immigration law. But he's not just out there like saying things, they're actually doing them immediately as they take office. This is acting Deputy AG Emile Beauvais. He sent this directive out. Federal law prohibits state and local actors from resisting, obstructing, failing to comply with lawful immigration commands. The U.S. Attorney's Office and litigating components of DOJ shall investigate incidents involving misconduct. This is a Fox News exclusive out this morning. More action being taken.